Back everybody from YouTube. I'm doing an update today on my aquaponics system. It's a little bright out here, so I'll put some sunglasses on. Today's update is on the carrot bed that I built. As you can see here, has a whole bunch of plastic bottles in it. There's one here. On the bottom, if you're wondering how I keep the cocoa core from falling out, I put some old shade cloth over it with a zip tie around it. And that holds all the cocoa core in it. This stuff, it's really soft. Carrots grow really good in that because they like the soft earth. This is just recycled coconut husks. But if you look over here, there's the bell for the bell siphon, and down there's the drain. And what happens is this will fill up with about 2 inches of water via the inlet here. I have a little valve on here. I can turn it off and on, or decrease or increase the pressure to slow down or speed up the fill rate. And I'm in the process now of building a small greenhouse just to cover this up. This is part of one of the upright poles, but I'm going to take this off and actually put it down here, and then run the tubes from here up and over for more strength. Anyways, back down here, you can see all these drain pipes. There's an overflow pipe. There's the drain pipe for the carrot bed right here. It's 1.5 inch, and then that reduces down to 1 inch. And what that does is when the water goes down, it goes to a smaller diameter tube. It increases the speed in which the water comes out, so it creates a stronger vacuum, sucking out the water even faster. And I haven't counted these. There's about 120, I believe, of these puppies. It took a long time to cut all these off. So if you're going to do something similar to this, just remember it's going to take a long time. And I use tin snips too to cut these off. I pinch the edge and then I cut a little slit in it, and then I feed the tin snips to that little slit, and then I can cut all the way around. Here's one of the vertical pipes I was messing around with earlier. It's going to be attached something sort of like this, with a little piece of steel here and then another one here. I'm using stainless steel so it doesn't rust because it's outside. I know it's Arizona, we still get rain. For the hell of it, we'll go check out the plants. Then here's some other projects I'm working on. Here's this is where I'm planning on putting the next set of grow beds. I just got these laid out just so I can get an idea in my head of what it might look like back here. It's kind of a mess. I've got stuff all over the place. I've been tearing things apart and building new things. We go over here to the crack key carrot bed. This is my original one, and then I built this little cheap little greenhouse to cover it. It's just shrink wrap around 1/2 inch PVC tubing, and then I took some painter's tape and just ran a strip across and then across here, because when it gets windy out it would unravel the saran wrap or the shrink wrap on here. I don't know if we can see in there very good, but there are lots of carrots inside there, and I got some radishes in there too. Let's see. Just about 50, I think. And they're doing really good in there. They're getting big. I grew them last year in here. I didn't have this greenhouse on it last year, but this seems to help because the top of the cocoa core will dry out. You have to spray it down every day. Over here we've got the potatoes. They're just going crazy. And as you can see, I've been adding potting soil as the potato grows. When I started, this thing was about 2 inches tall. Now we're looking at about 2 feet. It's about a foot away from the surface now. But we should get a lot of potatoes out of this. And I'm guessing a month or so, we'll see. We'll have to wait until it flowers, and then when the flowers die, that's when it's time to harvest. But here's some leftover plastic bottles. I still have a lot more in the house, so I'll probably figure out something to do with these, or if any of you guys have any ideas, I'll post those down in the comments for me, and I'll see if I can do something. Still haven't done anything with the aeroponics. I know this is the right time of year to be growing growing the lettuce, but I've got so many projects going on. We'll go over here and check out the peppers. They're doing really good. I think these guys were featured in the last video. This is a new addition. This is rhubarb. My mom suggested that. Where I grew up, we had rhubarb growing wild next to the house. And over here, we've got the kohlrabi. This stuff's, it's growing all right. It's not growing very fast though. I don't know if it's too cold out for it or not. I know the bugs are eating it. And then broccoli over here is doing really good. It's still growing pretty slow. And then in between the spaces here, I've got radishes sprinkled throughout. There's a lot more radishes here. And some carrots too. I haven't grown carrots in here yet. I just wanted to see what they would look like. I'm sure they'll be stunted and weird shaped. But over here we've got tomatoes. Here's some black tomatoes. Really weird. They're indigo rose hybrid. So they're black on the top and red on the bottom. And over here we've got yellow cherry tomatoes. Here's a huge cluster of little tiny guys. That's a lot of tomatoes. Today I found a couple of them on the ground, or not on the ground, but on the surface of the grow medium here. I don't know what happened. They looked like a bug chewed them off and they just fell. We'll deal with that later. And over here we've got, a little issue here. This is a yellow Scotch bonnet. And then more radishes mixed in here. And then here's another tomato. As you can see, the leaves are turning purple. It's because it's cold out at night. It's really cold. I know I say really cold because here in Arizona, 36 and 40 degrees for us is cold. I know, we're a bunch of wusses. And we'll come around over here. Check out the curly kale. I've been eating off of this. Stuff's really good. I didn't like kale before I started growing it myself. I guess the kale that I was eating was not grown very well and it just tasted bad. But this stuff is actually very delicious. And then we've got lots of lettuce here. This is romaine. These are freaking fantastic. They taste so good. And then over here we've got Swiss chard. I don't know if you can tell how big this leaf is. My hand's behind it and you can't see it. These are easily larger than my head. And these taste phenomenal. And then if you look down in there, the pink color, and then down there is the yellow colored one. It doesn't seem like the bugs bother this stuff really at all. I don't see a lot of bug damage. They must not like it. And here's an eggplant that's dying. They don't do good in the winter here. They don't like the cold, and they don't like the extreme heat either, so it's like in between. And then here we've got cauliflower. These are growing crazy. They're growing faster than anything else in the garden. As you can see, the bugs do enjoy eating some of this. I don't have a lot of damage really. This is really minimal because there's a lot of plants in here and they're not suffering too bad. And over here in the spinach is doing good. This is the first time I've had spinach growing. I've had really bad luck in the past with it. Try some of this actually. Try a little piece. And it tastes just like spinach. And here we got the cabbage. Now this stuff must taste really good because the bugs are eating the crap out of the leaves. I've been having issues with aphids in here too. I think I went over that in the last video. I just come out here and squish them with my fingers. That usually takes care of them for a couple of days. Then over here, we've got lemon thyme. This is probably my favorite thing in the garden to snack on because it tastes just like lemon. You take one of these little leaves and eat it, and you would swear you ate a lemon. It's so good. And here we've got avocado tree. It's doing well. I think the cold is bothering it a little bit. I've been covering it up at night with a bucket. And then over here This was a cucumber plant, but I had it tied off to this tree. And just like all other trees, when it gets really windy out, they move. And what it did was, this was attached to the plant, and it pulled the plant off of its own roots and killed it. So I stuck avocado seed in here. And I don't know if you can see this or not, but it looks like there's 2 trees growing out of 1 seed. I don't know how unusual that is, but I think it's cool. Then we'll go over here and check out the media filter. Got the K2 in here. I can see that the color is starting to change on it. So that tells me that I'm getting bacterial growth, which is good. I want that. The fish like that. Breaks down the fish waste and turns it into plant food. And up here we've got the solids filter. We've already seen all this stuff. Plastic bags all over. This is the, here's all the lids from all those empty bottles. There's a lot of them. And over here are the fish tanks. I've got them mostly insulated. My Plecostomuses did die. They got pretty big too. I was really bummed about that. The cold killed them. Because the water's perfect, the chemical makeup of the water is perfect, pH is perfect. The only problem is this, the temperature. So right now we're at 54 degrees, and Plecostomuses do not survive in 50-degree water. It killed them slowly. I feel really bad. Down here we've got carp. What's left of them, there's probably about 20. They average in size from about a ½ inch to up to 3.5 or 4 inches. They seem to be doing okay as far as the water temperature. They do like to murder each other. They like to eat the fins off of one another, and then they wind up over here. I check this every day, this little net cup right here. I put this here to catch the dead fish, because they'll get sucked into the system and eventually wind up in here. And here's more mess. I'm going to be cleaning all this stuff up today. Then over here we've got the chiltepee pepper. It is covered in pods. Here's, you can see my finger here. Just in this little area right here, there's probably 20 or 30. So there's a few hundred on this entire plant. These are really good. They're hot. They have pretty big seeds. There's about 5 or 6 large seeds inside each one. So if you're eating these, just be mindful of that. And then here we've got the yellow Scotch bonnet. It's also covered in fruit. As a matter of fact, I can see one that's ripe right here. See the yellow guy right there? It's kind of small, so I'll leave him for a little longer. But I can see little green ones all over. Here's one, here's some more, here's some more. Those are really hot. I think they are 500,000 or 50,000 on the Scoville. And then inside I have Carolina Reaper and some other hots. But here's a look of the whole yard. Everybody out there in YouTube, thank you guys and gals for tuning in. Hope this was instructional, or if you learned something with me. If you liked the video, hit like at the bottom. Any questions or comments, post those down there too. No questions or comments are dumb. I don't always get back to all the questions, so I apologize if I don't get back to you. Sometimes I get too many and I just don't have time to answer them all. But that's that. Thank you guys and gals, and have yourselves a good day and happy holidays, and have a safe New Year's. Don't do anything I would do.